Okay, people. Once again, signing in. I want to talk about federally recognized Indian tribes. I was on a conference call. It was like a maybe I don't know how many people on that damn call. We were all just kind of really just as we call it here in the South, chopping it up. And we started talking about Indian tribes. One of the guys brought up the Indian tribes. I don't know which one was which. I don't know everybody's voices on there, but certain one was talking about federally reckon. They were talking about basically being how a lot of the people talk about claiming your nationality, and some of these people come up with their own group. They create a group, and it's supposed to be like Moors and different types of Moorish groups or whatever, and teach his own with however they want to explore those journeys. But I want to show you all. I want to bring to y'all's attention about. See, a lot of times, a lot of us don't even realize that a lot of this stuff is already addressed in the codes as well. We're talking about federally all across the nation. We got federally recognized Indian tribes. As you can see, is a whole list of them right here. I don't know what tribe you may be associated with. First and foremost, let's clear out of the get it put it out there. You don't see black nowhere in here. Okay, so everybody's they look, celebrating Independence Day, and they saying, what they call it, the holiday that just left. They just made it a federally recognized holiday. But anyway, that's neither here or there. The tribes, the people that are native to this country, they're already recognized. They've already been documented, recognized, and protected, according to the laws already. Okay, you may see the tribe that you may be connected to. If you are connected to one of these tribes, you might need to look into this. My mom always told me that I'm actually a part of the Cherokee tribe, but I have to do more research to find out. Okay. A lot of times it's kind of cliche for me to hear that, especially where I'm from. But the same people that say that always still go to screaming about black. I'm black. We black. It's cause I'm black. It's cause I'm black. So it's like we hear it in the back of our minds, but we don't really acknowledge what the fact that we are a part of it, and we won't look into the family history. I think the easiest way the concrete way to confirm your tribe is basically through records. Looking up your family tree, your records, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they used to always even the ones that the natives here, they used to put Negro and black on their birth certificate, so you never would be able to. They wouldn't know who they are. Even coming up as a child, they at some point forget who they are, and they start going along with black because it says it on the birth certificate. So anyway, moving forward, federally recognized Indian tribes. It's usagov.gov. Let me see what he's gonna say right here. I want to kind of entertain this a little bit. Can I zoom in on this a little bit? There we go. Okay, federally recognizing Indian tribes and resources for Native Americans. This is not what I was looking for, but y'all see that's something you can look up. I'm trying to find there was a code. There's actually a federal code that talks about this. Search for federally recognized Indian tribes. Where's that code? There's a code. It's a federal code that I found. I looked into this like a couple years back. Maybe in 2020 during the pandemic. Let's see. Trying to find it. Here we go. Let me see. Federally recognized tribe. Let's click on here. Okay. USC 25 USC 5130 says definition. Indian tribe. The definition means any Indian or Alaska Native tribe, band, nation. Here we go. Pueblo, if I'm saying that right, village or community that the Secretary of the Interior acknowledges to exist as Indian tribe. Okay, see, that's definitions. Let me go back. That's not the federal code I was looking for, but it's probably gonna be somewhere in there. Here we go. Let me see. Is this? See, what are the what are the criteria for acknowledgement as a federally recognized Indian tribe? Okay, the criteria for acknowledgement as a federally recognized Indian tribe are delineated in paragraphs A through G of this section. Okay, so it tells you how you're going to become recognized. You know, what's the criteria to be acknowledged as a federally recognized Indian tribe. Okay. An Indian entity identification. Say the petitioner has been identified as an American Indian, as an American Indian entity on a substantially continuous basis since 1900. Evidence that the group's character as an Indian entity has from time to time been denied will not be considered to be conclusive evidence that this criterion has not been met. Evidence to be relied upon in determining a group's Indian identity may include one or a combination of the following, as well as other evidence of identification. Identification as an Indian identity by federal authorities. This is why keep in mind, it says is by federal authorities. A lot of these people creating processes where they making up these cards, they're creating these cards and selling them to y'all, and they want you to use them in court cases and use them on the side of the road getting pulled over, and it's cards that they done made up and sold people. That does not go with number one. Okay, you can't just create some shit just like, I'm a part of this here, and then they're supposed to just recognize it. It's got to be issued to them by federal authority. Okay. Relationship with state governments based on identification of the groups as an Indian. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. This is gonna tie in with number 2. Show y'all something. I'm doing Georgia, y'all, because I live in Georgia. Okay, Georgia tribes. Is that the one I want to look at? I should just put OCGA, because that's what we do here. OCGA. Okay, here we go. Okay, rights of personality. Says property. This Title 44 deals with property. It's a protection of American Indian human remains and burial. Ooh, they talking about something else. Legitimate American Indian tribes. Okay, part 3. Let's see. Let me go out of this real quick because I want to go to that particular part. I guess that's it. We're gonna see. Let's go a little deeper. The state of Georgia officially recognizes as legitimate American Indian tribes of Georgia the following tribes, bands, groups, or communities. The General Assembly may recognize tribes, bands, groups, or communities other than those stated in subsection A of this code as the General Assembly deems appropriate. I don't see no tribe. Hold on, let me keep going. Okay, here we go. The Georgia tribes of Eastern. Here we go. Here it is. They reorganized it. The Georgia tribe of Eastern Cherokee, and here's their mailing information. If you want to connect with them, with that tribe, here's their mailing information. The Lower Muskogee Creek tribe, Route 2, box 370, Wiggum, Georgia. I've never been there before. But this is their address, and Cherokee of Georgia Tribal Council, St. George, Georgia, and there's the zip code right there. So those 3 right there here in Georgia, that's what they're talking about when you see this code right here. Relationship it's a relationship with state governments based on the identification of the group as an Indian, as Indian. So say if I want to connect my mama. I was born here in Georgia, so it's a possibility. You see all these are Georgia, they all connected to Cherokee. So hey, I might need to get with these people. So there's the addresses to to communicate with them, find out what processes they have available, to find out whether or not you are connected to them. Or if you already you already done the footwork. I don't know. I really wouldn't know where to start. That's the only two ways I could do is like go follow my family tree and, go into the public records and do the footwork myself. Or maybe they have something available to find out whether or not you actually are connected or not. Maybe they have something available. You don't know. But the Indian chiefs, the chiefs there, I'm sure they have something in place where you will actually be able to find out. I'm sure that maybe they even have a website to even know. And let's see. I'm just kind of playing with this so y'all can kind of see how I do some research. A lot of times this is how I research stuff. Y'all be like, some of y'all don't want to be like, where do I start? You see how I play with the words and I find stuff? Look here. They got a website, is you just kind of look this stuff up. It's not hard to just start looking, reading, let your conscience be your guide. Now, let me go back to number 3 right here. Dealing with a county, parish, or other local government in a relationship based on the group's Indian identity. Okay. Let's see. Identification as an Indian entity by an anthropologist, historians, and or other scholars. Okay. That's one way to find out. I mean, these are different ways they're telling you can find out whether or not. You can use these routes to find out. Identification as an Indian entity in a newspaper and books. Let me see. Evidence to be relied upon in determining a group's Indian identity may include one or a combination of the following, as well as other evidence of identification. Go back to the newspaper. Identification as an entity, as an Indian entity in the newspaper and books. That's kind of. I'm gonna let your conscience be your guide on that too. I'll keep my thoughts to myself on that. Okay, number 6, identification as an Indian entity in relationship with Indian tribes, or with national, regional, or state Indian organizations. So you can be, dealing with them, and you could probably be, you have proof that you actually have some type of relationship with them. Identification as an Indian entity by the petitioner itself. Identification as an Indian entity by the petitioner itself. That sounds like self-identification, you ask me. Both of them sound like that. I said I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself, but that's what this sounds like too. This one right here, and this one right here. And y'all know what a petitioner is. A petitioner means any entity that has submitted in a documented petition to, what's FOAI? I mean the OFA, requesting federal acknowledgement as federally recognized Indian tribe. Oh, okay. So you petition the OFA. What does OFA stand for? Requesting federal acknowledgement as a federally recognized Indian tribe. I'm learning something as I'm reading this, y'all. This is why I click on links. I click on stuff. That's how you get good understanding of what this thing is saying. Identification as an Indian entity by the petitioner itself. And them to see you as the petitioner, you're someone who actually petitioned you submitted a documented petition to OFA. I got to find out what OFA is. Requesting federal acknowledgement as a federally recognized Indian tribe. My petition would actually based on what I was actually taught as a child. Now, what's OFA? I need to know what OFA stands for. OFA. I'm trying to see if I'm kind of overlooking or something and not realizing it. Right. OFA. OFA. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna find it though. You know what? I ain't gonna come back. I'm gonna find it now. OFA. Office of Federal Acknowledgement. Bingo. I couldn't let it go, y'all. I couldn't let it go. Okay, back to it. Now we know what OFA stands for. That's who you're going. That's who you're going to. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, Office of Federal Acknowledgement. That's what OFA is. That's how you find stuff, y'all. Got to be willing to look stuff up. Click on it. Don't overlook nothing you see and don't know what it means. Look that shit up. OFA, now we know what that means. So you petitioning, if you petition a document, you have a documented petition to OFA requesting a federal acknowledgement as a federally recognized Indian tribe. Now let's go back to this code. Now what if you make put it in the newspaper that you're identifying as such? Say you put it in the newspaper, making a public announcement that you're identifying as a tribe that you actually claim to be a part of. You making it public known. Keep in mind, you put it in the newspaper. You're doing a PSA. You know what I'm saying? Public service announcement, and you put it in the newspaper. It's like you serving everybody. When you put it in the newspaper, you're serving everybody without sending it to one particular person. Just like when they put a child support, petition in the court in service by publication, whether you received it in your hand or not, you got served because it was in the newspaper. So identification as an Indian entity in the news in newspapers and books. So say if you put it in the newspaper, I say for 4 weeks or whatever, and then you get the affidavit from the newspaper company with a clip of that newspaper clipping, and you take that and you attach your petition to it, and say you send it to OFA. You send it to them. You know what I'm saying? I would even go before I send it to them. I would do something like record it, get it recorded, because now you're making a public record and you're recording in the county recorder's office. I would do that. Then you get a certified copy of that recording and you send that petition. You attach a petition to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you're asking them to be recognized, and then you see where it goes from there. And then, anyway, that's just me thinking, y'all. It's me thinking. Y'all do what you want to do with the information. Okay. Community. The petitioner comprises a distinct community and demonstrates that it existed as a community from 1900 until the present. It says the petition. It's the same petitioner. Hold on a second. Same definition. Let me see. Community. The petitioner comprises a distinct community and demonstrates that it existed as a community from the 1900 until the present. Okay, so if your petitioner must have this stuff in there. Okay, your petition should have this in here. It says the petition comprises a distinct community and demonstrates that it existed as a community from 1900 until the present. Okay, so you ain't gonna just create some shit and just you taking your hood and just put it on there. So it can't be just your neighborhood or whatever. Anyway, distinct community means an entity with consistent interactions and significant social relationship within its members, and whose members are differentiated from the distinct from non-members. Okay, distinct community must be understood flexibly in the context of a history, geography, culture, and social organization of the entity. The petitioner may demonstrate that it meets this criteria by providing evidence for known adult members, or by providing evidence of relationships of a reliable, statistically significant example of known adult members. Okay, so y'all scratch what I said earlier when I was talking about just putting something in the newspaper like that, because you got to have all that in your petition. Okay, that in your petition, it specifically says that this has to be demonstrated, okay, in your petition. So that's how you want to be recognized. You don't want you to be recognized just because your mama said you're Indian. Okay, that's what my mama said. She said you're, Cherokee Indian. Your mama, your grandparents were full-blooded Cherokee Indian. Okay, but there's no proof of that. I don't have no, you know what I'm saying? So, and I gotta go deeper than what I've been taught, what I've been told by my mom. You know what I'm saying? So it goes deeper than that. I have to have all this stuff here on record. I gotta dig deeper. Now, the petitioner, same definition. The petitioner may demonstrate that it meets this criteria at a given point in time by some combination of two or more of the following forms of evidence, by other evidence to show that a significant and meaningful portion of the petitioner's members constituted a distinct community at a given point in time. Here we go. Rates or patterns of known marriages within the entity, or, as may be culturally required, known patterned out marriages. Number two, social relationships connecting individual members. Rates or patterns of informal social interaction that exist broadly among the members of the entity. Okay. Shared or cooperative labor or other economic activity among members. Strong patterns of discrimination or other social distinctions by non-members. Shared sacred or secular ritual activity. Cultural patterns shared among the portion of the entity that are different from those of non-Indian populations with whom it interacts. These patterns must function as more than a symbolic identification of the group as Indian. They may include, but are not limited to, language, kinship, organization or system, religious beliefs or practices, and ceremonies. Number 8, let's see, the persistence of a collective identity continuously over a period of more than 50 years, notwithstanding any absence of or changing in name. Number 9, let's see, land set aside by a state for the petitioner or collective ancestors of the petitioner that was actively used by the community for that time period. Children of members from a geographic area were placed in Indian boarding schools or other Indian educational institutions to the extent that supporting evidence documents the community claimed. or a demonstration of political influence under the criterion in subsection 83.11 C1 will be evidence for demonstrating distinct community for that same time period. Now, number 2, the petitioner will be considered to have provided more than sufficient evidence to demonstrate distinct community and political authority under subsection 83.11c at a given point in time, if the evidence demonstrates any one of the following. One, more than 50% of the members reside in a geographical area exclusively or almost exclusively composed of members of the entity, and the balance of the entity maintains consistent interaction with some members residing in that area. At least 50% of the members of the entity were married to other members of the entity. At least 50% of the entity members maintain distinct cultural patterns, such as, but not limited to, language, kinship systems, religious beliefs and practices, or ceremonies. There are distinct communities, social institutions encompassing at least 50% of the members, such as kinship organizations, formal or informal economic cooperation, or religious organizations, or the petitioner has met the criterion in subsection 83.11c using evidence described in subsection 83.11c2. Okay, let's see. It's a political influence or authority. I need to go through all these. Political influence and authority, government documents. I'm gonna touch this real quick. The petition must provide a copy of the entity's present governing document, including its membership criteria, or in the absence of government document, a written statement describing in full its membership criteria and current governing procedures. So you still gotta have that, even if you don't have the document. Let's see, the actual document, the governing document. Let me see. Descent. I guess this will go here when you're looking in the your family history. The petitioner's membership consists of individuals who descend from a historical Indian tribe, or from historical Indian tribes that combined and functioned as a single autonomous political entity. See, this is when you're talking about looking up your family tree. This is one of the reasons why they started putting in people's birth certificates. They, years ago, I forgot who that guy's name was that came up with that idea to do that to the natives here on the land, so they would not be able to keep up with who their people are. So people will grow up not knowing who they are, and so they start putting black American, not black American, but African American or whatever. They started putting those types of things on the birth certificates, and so they would not have anything relating to a tribe on the certificate of live birth. So people would not know who they are. And let's see. Even I think I have a black American on mine or something like that. And I'm like, I don't put that on no document. Now that I know better. Let's see. Let me see. The petitioner satisfies this criterion by demonstrating that the petitioner's members descend from a tribal roll directed by Congress or prepared by the Secretary on a descendancy basis for purposes of distributing claims money, providing allotments providing a tribal census or other purposes unless significant countervailing evidence establishes that the tribal role is substantially inaccurate, or if a tribal role was directed by Congress or prepared by the Secretary, the petitioner satisfies the criterion by demonstrating descent from a historical Indian tribe or from historical Indian tribes that combined and function as a single autonomous political entity. With sufficient evidence, including but not limited to one or a combination of the following identifying present members or ancestors of the present members as being descendants of a historical Indian tribe or of historical Indian tribes that combined and function as a single autonomous political party. You see the state, federal, state, and other local records of evidence. Okay, let's see, federal, state, or other official records of evidence, records or evidence. These would be like birth certificates, death certificates, marriage license, different stuff like that. That would be these here. Okay, church, school records, or other similar enrollment records created by historians and anthropologists in historical times, affidavits of recognition by tribal elders, leaders, or the tribal governing body with personal knowledge, and other records or evidence. Guess that could be kind of broad, but anyway, unique membership. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up in a minute because this is the last bit of it. Might as well read it. Okay, unique membership. The petitioner's membership is composed principally of persons who are not members of any federally recognized tribe. His membership is composed principally of persons who are not members of any federally recognized tribe. However, a petitioner may be acknowledged even if its members is composed principally of persons whose names have appeared on rolls or who have been otherwise associated with federally recognized tribes, if the petitioner demonstrates that. That's what rolls are. I'm gonna back up to that. I'll come back to that. That it functions as a separate political autonomous community by satisfying criteria in paragraphs B and C of this section, and its members have provided written confirmation of their membership in the petitioner. Okay, let's see. Rolls means a list exclusive of those members. Okay, who have been determined by the tribe to meet the tribe's membership requirements as set forth in the governing document. Say in the absence of such a document, a roll means a list of those recognized as members by the tribe's governing body. In either case, those individuals on a roll must have affirmatively demonstrated consent to be listed as members. Okay, I just wanted to understand what they meant by a roll, so y'all can get it too. Okay, let's see. Names appearing on the rolls of. Okay. Congressional termination. Okay. Neither the petitioner nor its members are the subject of congressional legislation. Neither the petitioner nor its members are subject to congressional legislation that has expressly terminated or forbidden the federal relationship. Well, damn. Okay. The department must determine whether the petitioner meets this criterion. And the petitioner is not required to submit evidence to meet it. That's something else. Just kind of thinking on that. Neither the petitioner nor its members are subject to congressional legislation that has expressly terminated or forbidden the federal relationship. I guess that's once you actually accept it and all that good stuff. The department must determine whether the petitioner meets this criterion. Okay. And the petitioner is not required to submit evidence to meet it. Okay, the department means the Department of the Interior, including the Assistant Secretary of OFA. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I just want to kind of go over this, y'all, because understand, get it so we get a better idea about federally recognized tribes. Tribes that are actually recognized on the federal level, because a lot of people don't know about this stuff. They they hear about claiming your nationality, but they don't actually know about they don't know anything about the federally recognized tribes, and the fact that they actually have contact information. A lot of them have websites, and you have to do your footwork to find out what tribe you're part of. And I don't know if I know we have the right to self-identify, true enough, but that's cool. I mean, you can, just like you identify as being black, but that don't mean you're going to get recognized as somebody that has some rights to do something, you know what I'm saying, has any type of protections, you know what I'm saying? Federally recognized tribes are they're actually protected. So that's why you don't see them in court. They are immune to the jurisdiction of the United States courts. I was looking for that particular one, but I'm trying to see if I can find it. Cause they don't have to they don't have to be in these courts. Let me see if we can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure I can find it. Let me see. They don't have to be in the United States courts. If you have proof that you're actually a part of an American tribe, then you won't have to be. Let's see. Indian tribe. Immune to United States courts. Let's see. I'm trying to find the federal code that's actually what I was looking for when I found what I just read to y'all. I'm trying to find it. But they don't have to actually be, they can't be in the code. They can't be in there. Let's see. Indian members. Where's that damn code at? I'm about to shut this down in a minute. This thing almost 40 minutes long. Immunity from suit in federal court. Let me see what this says. Oh, let me make this bigger so y'all can see this. I'm gonna wind this down, y'all, in a minute. So y'all see we're right here on the Department of Justice right here. Okay, United States Department of Justice. Let's see, Creek Nation versus United States. United States was not required to indemnify the Creek and Seminole nations for harms emanating for railroad rights of way across Indian land. In part because there is no treaty or statutory language placing responsibility for the railroads on the United States. Additionally, the statute authorizing the secretary to bring suit to collect money owed to the tribes was discretionary and did not obligate the government to bring actions against the railroads to collect trespass damages. Let's see. I'm trying to find where they're immune to court. Let's see. It's not even found. This not even what I was looking at. But anyway, I'm gonna go and probably shut it down. I might do a part 2 of this here, y'all. But you can actually go and look up this. Just type in the Department of Justice and type in significant Indian cases. That's not what I was looking for. If you want to read that part, you can find that. But it was actually a federal code where it had a lot to do with like Indian children. Let's see, Indian child custody. Federal code. I'm gonna do this one last thing. Let me see. This might be it right here. Indian tribe jurisdiction. Yep. An Indian tribe shall have jurisdiction exclusively. Jurisdiction exclusive as any state over any child custody proceeding, including an Indian child who resides or is domiciled within the reservation of such tribe, except where such jurisdiction is otherwise vested in the state by existing federal law. Where an Indian child is a ward of a tribal court, the Indian tribe shall retain exclusive jurisdiction, notwithstanding the resident or domicile of the child. Transfer proceeding right here. Proceeding in any state court proceeding for the foster care placement of or termination of parental rights to an Indian child not domiciled or residing within the reservation of the Indian child's tribe. The court in the absence of good cause to the contrary shall transfer such proceeding to the jurisdiction of the tribe, absent objection by either parent upon the petition of either parent or the Indian custodian or the Indian child's tribe, provided that such transfer shall be subject to the declination by the tribal court of such tribe. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Let's see. In any state court proceeding for the foster care placement of or termination of parental rights to an Indian tribe, the Indian custodian of the child and the Indian child's tribe shall have the right to intervene at any point in the proceeding. Okay, so it just lets you know this is code U.S. Code 1911. Okay, this is what it was. So this is actually what I was looking for. Okay, I'm gonna read this last part and I'm gonna shut it down. Full faith and credit to public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of Indian tribes. The United States, every state, every territory or possession of the United States, and every Indian tribe shall give full faith and credit to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of any Indian tribe applicable to Indian child custody proceedings, to the same extent that such entities give full faith and credit to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of any other entity. Okay, so this is what I was looking for right here. But anyway, I was really kind of I kind of got there just touching on really the Indian tribes. A lot of people don't know about the Indian tribes, so it's a lot as far as like the fact that there's a list of federally recognized and protected Indian tribes. So here it is, protection of Indians right here. They covered all that in this here, but we got 44 minutes in this video. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that in this video. So you can look at that right there. You can look at your code 25. Say 25 U.S. Code Chapter 5. You can find that on your own. Look at it, at your leisure. Cornell Law, y'all know we use it all the time. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here, y'all. We 45 minutes in here, so if you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so at this time. I do appreciate it. Share. Feel free to share the videos at your leisure, and to whoever's interested in this type of information. And I will see y'all in the next video. All right, Emeralds signing out.